All right, we are officially halfway through. Once we actually
Oh my
deal
god.
with this one, if you manage a team, make sure that your employees know that you recognize a period pain. Um, and what? How do you cystitis? I guess you read that as cystitis.
Oh, yeah,
As
cystitis.
cystitis as legitimate reasons.
Legitimate reasons.
Wait, isn't cystitis a fucking a inflamed bladder?
Cystitis is yeah, an inflammation of the bladder.
Yeah, which is in like 70. We use a different word, so that's why I had a problem.
We
Fucking.
could, yeah, it's
But
it's
no,
a UTI.
yeah. That's a problem that is way more serious in men than women. So I don't know
Yeah.
why cystitis is here, but okay.
Yeah,
Period
you know what?
pain. Yes.
Cystitis as a legitimate reason for a sick day. Absolutely.
Yes, and also I okay, period pain as well. Pain is pain. I completely
Yeah.
agree for that. I think everybody does. You don't have to be a woman to recognize that pain is pain. Period pain is real. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, you can lie about it because there's no indication, there's no manifestation of pain, right? You cannot see someone and say you are in pain. I can see that you are in pain. You can fake pain. So that's
Yeah.
why people are skeptical. That it's not just a period pain. I can say that it hurts when I pee. How do you see that it hurts when I pee? How can you? It's not. It doesn't manifest as
Yeah, I
as a
don't know.
physical thing. You don't have a light bulb like above your head that flickers every time you're in pain, so you can see that okay, he's not lying. She's not lying. She's really in pain. But
Oh
yeah,
wow. Yeah.
period pain. Yes, unless you are lying to get a sick day, a paid sick day. Sure. She noticed that she didn't say a paid sick day, which I was 100% sure that it was gonna say that, but it didn't. But yes, fine,
Yeah, I
of
I
course.
agree with this one.
Yeah, period. Any illness that gets your mind off of things and makes you an unintelligible mess. Yes, by all
And
means,
see,
have a sick day.
I'm gonna pick the sentence apart a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
The number 50 is a 100% piece of proof that she is writing this towards men.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's like if you manage a team, make sure that your employees so know that you recognize period pain and cystitis as legitimate reasons for a 6 day. If a woman was managing a team, she would already recognize period pain and cystitis.
Yeah.
And cystitis is incredibly specific again. So this is like she was scorned for having cystitis.
Yeah.
Because
Period pain. Uh,
she's saying that only females can suffer from this pain of cystitis, which
yeah.
is
Untrue.
very untrue.
Yes. It's a both. You can get cystitis as a man.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if she left out cystitis and she just put period pain, of course.
Yeah, and again, like this one, this is she's specifically writing to a man.
Mm-hmm.
When she was writing this, she had a man viewer
In mind,
in
yeah.
mind.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah.
It's like if you manage a team, make sure that your employees know that you recognize period. It's like, wow,
Mm, yep.
pull your fucking panties out of your twat. You're not talking to just one or two men.
Yeah.
And you probably could if you sat down and broke this down and analyzed it psychologically. You could probably say that she either had a really bad boss or she had friends who had a really bad boss,
Mm-hmm.
or she had a really bad boyfriend, or maybe it was a little bit of both. Like it's there.
Yeah. All right. If
Generally on 50,
okay,
why?
well, we can breeze through some of these that obviously don't make any kind of sense. If you have a strict boss or mom or teacher who is a woman, wow. If you have a mom who is a woman, yeah, no shit. Uh, she is not a bitch. Grow up.
Well, what
Uh,
if my mom was a dude and she was being a bitch?
again, let's just breeze through that because that one doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's like, I'm
Uh,
sorry, but a bitch is a bitch.
a
If you're
bitch
being
is
a
a
bitch, I'm
bitch.
gonna call you
Yeah,
a bitch. It doesn't
exactly.
matter what the hell's between your legs or how you dress. If you're
Yeah.
being a bitch, you're being a bitch.
Expect a woman to do the stuff that's in her job description, not the other miscellaneous shit you don't know how to do yourself.
Again, like I
Y-
said, bad boss. This is targeted.
this is targeted.
Like,
Yeah, this is a targeted audience. First of all, there is not
yeah,
a
when
single job on earth that your boss is not going to come in your cubicle one morning and say, "Listen, I need you to do this and this." It happens. People are going to ask you to do stuff or tell you to do stuff. If you say no, well then tough shit. Um, Not the other miscellaneous shit. What probably happened is that she was working at like a law firm or some bullshit like that, and her boss came in one morning and said, "Listen, go get my dry cleaning."
actually, I think because I mean this happens with my work, or this happens at my work. Um, and we are a lot of women that work there. Um, we are expected to do what we were hired to do, but we are also expected to do a lot of other miscellaneous shit, like clean.
Yeah,
But the men are also supposed to do that. We have a chore list at work.
exactly. And
So, I mean,
I doubt
given,
that anywhere in your job description on like the paper that you have been given to sign, it says you have to clean the tables after you are done with your workday. It doesn't say there, but you have to do it because it's the right thing to do. Because if you make a mess, you clean it up.
yeah,
It's not in your job description. It's on the job description of like that poor little Mexican cleaning lady that at the end of your shift comes in and sweeps the floors. It's in her job description, but
yeah,
you do it because you made the shit. You made the mess. Also, expect
yeah,
a woman so men can do the miscellaneous shit that they don't know that it's not in their job description. Men
yeah.
can, but women can't. Why?
And here's the something on that as well. Like she's like, expect a woman to do the stuff that's in her job description. As an employer, I expect anybody who I employ
Yeah,
to do a specific job to do their job.
exactly.
Expect a man to do the stuff that is in his job description. Expect a woman to do the stuff that is in her job description. But if we all need to be like, if we all need to work together to get some other miscellaneous stuff done, like if our cleaning lady, if we were working in a law firm and I was the secretary and you were the lawyer and you were like, hey, our cleaning lady's not going to come in. Do you want to do some dusting? Like, I know you would ask me like that. Do you want to do some dusting? I'd be like, yeah, sure. Or I'd be like, I really can't do that. Is there another chore that I could help out with?
Mhm.
Like, and another thing, like, do as a female, and this is something that has to deal with self-empowerment. As a female, do not let yourself get into the position where other people feel like they can treat you like shit.
Mhm.
It's like, do not be that person. Have a fucking backbone.
She thinks.
And that is exactly what 52 is saying is she's like, not the other miscellaneous shit you don't know how to do yourself. First of all, again, that's extraordinarily inflammatory. Like, holy crap, those are fighting words.
Yeah.
And that is demeaning because you know she's again targeting a man.
Mm.
And it's like, wow, she just told me that I don't know how to do stuff. Like, wow, how belittling is that? And again, if a man had written this to a woman, women would flip their shit. But
Yep.
apparently, this is something that's socially okay. And again, like, this is not feminism. Feminism is a strive for equality.
Mhm.
This is not feminism. You would not want a man to talk to you like this. And I know that you don't like it when a woman is talking to you like this because that's exactly what's happening.
Yep.
So expect a woman to do the stuff that's in her job description. Yes,
Yeah.
everybody expects women to do what they like. Like this is so convoluted with her own personal
does she
bile.
think
It's
does she think that men at work, men at work, does she think that men in like the office just walk in at like fucking noon in their pajamas and just sit on their table and go, oh, I'm gonna watch fucking Grey's Anatomy all day and get paid tens of thousands of dollars? No, that doesn't happen. Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. I'm done with this one. If you don't have anything else
yeah,
to say.
I'm done with this one too. And again, like I do like 53 refuse to speak to an all-male panel. I'm sorry, but if an all-male panel are the experts, if they're on a panel, they are experts. If
Yeah.
they are all male, that just is because they are fucking experts. It's not that there's a female out there that is less advanced. Like there's a reason why people are up on a panel. Moving on.
Yeah.
54.
In a
In a
Q&A.
Q&A.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I'm gonna breeze through these because these really pissed me off. It's like in a Q&A session, only put your hand up if you have a question. Others didn't attend to listen to you. Well, if you have a question, then yeah, others did kind of attend to listen to your fucking questions. And if you have input that is valid, then yes, they did come to listen to you. Oh my
shit.
god, like this is another fucking targeted piece of bullshit. Like that's not gonna help me anything. It's like in a Q&A, that's a them thing. That's a people thing. That's a you had a bad experience and apparently somebody that was a male just shat all over. I'm really sorry to this
Jesus.
writer. Like I'm genuinely apologizing to her. I am so sorry to have this
Oh.
violence and anger inside of you that you have to bash it out on a keyboard in a really awful way. Like I'm
Oof.
glad that you appreciate feminism, but you need to start realizing that feminism means equality, and you need to start looking at what you are writing and why you are writing it and why you just have like all of the there's no other description that I can say is vehement disdain. She has this vehement disdain against these people that she's talking about.
Mm.
Like really the way that she the verbiage and just oh my god. That's all, I don't even want to go through these because I feel like she's bitching at me and I know that she's not. And it's like in the Q&A session, only put your hand up if you have a question. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what you do in a Q&A session.
Yeah,
But if you have
that's why
something
it's called a
else
Q&A.
yeah, if you have something that you want to add, you could add it in a form of a question, or you could be like, hey, this is something that I would like to add to that. And is this information correct? And would it be something good to add to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so 55. If you have friends or family members who use slurs or discriminate against trans or non-binary people, sit them down and explain why they must stop. Yeah, you do that because, like, first of all,
Mm.
you do it in a constructive way. The way
Mm-hmm.
that she's sitting them down is like, you're gonna sit down and you are going to choke on my plastic strap-on cock because,
Ooh.
yeah, like God, but I'm so frustrated. So yeah, this is actually something that I can agree to. If you have friends or family members who use slurs or discriminate against trans or non-binary people, sit them down and explain why they must stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you need to do that because this is teaching people to treat people like people.
Exactly.
This is something that I can go behind. This is something that I can agree with. This is something that is productive. This is something that maybe with a little bit of change of our wording, yeah, like yes, this is an everybody thing.
Why is 56 the same as 55?
If you have friends or family members who use slurs,
Oh, other races. No. It's against other races now. It's
okay,
the same
again,
shit, but
like,
other races.
Yes, like
What the
again, this is
fuck
something
is
good,
going
and
on?
you should be able to do that. But I think that she could have just like lumped it up in one sum. If your
Yeah.
friends and family members use slurs and discriminate against women of other races or trans or non-binary people, yeah, like go for it. Sit down and educate them in a way that is productive, not in a way that belittles
Why?
them as
Why
a
they must
person.
stop?
Yeah, you're right. They must
Uh,
stop, but you don't need to put they must stop. You should say they should stop
mm, yeah.
and why they should stop, not why they must stop. You
Mm-hmm.
see how different it is? Like it's just like saying love you and I love you. There's a distinct difference.
Yep. Yep.
They
Yep.
should stop and they must stop. There is a distinct difference. Okay, so 57. Do you have
Oh
anything else
shit.
to add?
No, no, you are being very feisty.
Oh my goodness,
Oh my
Lanos, that's a
god.
word that I. Oh,
Holy
danger
shit.
word. Actually, I appreciate the fact that you realize that I'm being feisty right now because you're absolutely right. I am
You
in a
said that I'm
feisty mood.
feisty. My vagina completely dried up right now. It
Actually,
became a desolate tundra.
I didn't
Fucking
know that you
shit.
had a vagina.
No, I was speaking as, you know,
Oh, as me?
yeah, yeah.
Or as any other woman who
As
doesn't
any
like to be
as
called
any
feisty?
other woman that doesn't like to be feisty.
Mm. Oh, I'll let you do 57.
Hey, let me do it. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring it down. Bring it down.
I don't think
um,
I can because I just read 57. It's like, are you kidding
okay,
me?
let's see this.
Oh,
If
stop!
you see women with their hands up, put yours down. This can be taken as a metaphor for a lot of things. Think about it. Okay,
Again,
it's-
she's being demeaning by saying think about it. You don't really need to think about it. This can be taken as a metaphor for a lot of things. Not necessarily true.
for
If you see a woman with their hand up, that means that they will be answered in turn. Like I play D&D, and we all like to talk, and we are all rambunctious, and something that we've learned to do because everybody wants their time and everybody wants their piece. We've actually started to raise our hands.
okay, but
When I raise my hand,
have so
that
many
doesn't mean all of the other dudes put their hands down. That's not fair, which is what feminism is about. Okay, I think I'm done stressing that.
holy fucking hell.
This is so infuriating, Lanos.
But
Like, real.
what this is saying is women get the
Oh my God.
first word in always. Because if you see them with their hands up, you are not allowed to ask questions before they are. Okay, let's move on before you fucking pop a vein. Raising a feminist daughter means she's going to disagree with you and probably be right. Well, probably again. Feel proud, not threatened. I'm going
Okay,
to
I'm
say
sorry,
this.
Lanos, but if you have a daughter and she's 15 years old and she's going to you about something, she's not going to be right.
Yeah.
And I don't care if she's a feminist or not. If she's arguing with you, she's 50 fucking years old. She's lacking the life experience. She's not going to be right. And she's going to feel like she's right. But as a parent, she's
She's
fucking
not.
wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know by experience because well, I'm not a feminist daughter to my parents, but I am I was a very miserable son. But I still a little bit am. And I know that I said a bunch of shit that I disagree with them a lot of time. And I wasn't right. I was never right. Never once. And also, if I were to raise a daughter that has become a feminist, not a real feminist. We're not talking about real feminism here. We're talking about Tumblr feminism, okay?
You're talking about this person's view of what
Yes.
feminism should be.
Yes, exactly. If she disagrees with me, I'm not gonna feel proud or threatened. I'm going to take her out back, and I'm going to shoot her in the head.
Well, that that escalated really quick, Lano.
I'm not kidding. I'm gonna go full blown fucking Shutter Island on that bitch. I'm gonna drown her, and I'm gonna be like, listen, that's not how you do things. Not in my house, you ain't, you motherfucker.
Well, I would give her a chance to be taught correctly, and then
I mean,
teach her what Like, if I know, Lanos, I know that if you ever had a baby girl, she would be your world, first off. Secondly,
Yes, she would.
if she did end up being a real feminist, you
I would be
would be
proud.
proud of that. Yeah,
Exactly.
you would be. You
Yeah.
would never feel threatened. You would feel proud because you have successfully raised a human being
Yep.
that understands that in some situations that are super shitty, females are looked down upon. Be
Yeah.
them trans, LGBTQ, cis, it doesn't matter. They're looked down upon.
Mm.
And she's fighting for the right for equality in a productive manner, not the way that this twat is doing it.
Yeah. And yeah, I completely agree with what you said. I whenever me and my girlfriend talking about kids, I always say that I would love to have a daughter, and I know that I know myself well enough to know that she will be daddy's little princess. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to say no.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad that my girlfriend is, as she's more of a man than I am, so I'm glad she's like that. She would say no. I would never fucking say no. All right, not to daddy's little not to daddy's little boo boo. She would always get a yes. So I'll go ask mom. Fuck it, ask mom. She's right there.
It's like
You know, so,
I can't have this decision. It's
yeah.
like I cannot make this decision.
Uh,
Go ask your mother.
but if my daughter would walk up to me one day and first of all, there would I would love nothing more than when I am old enough to have a kid that there's no need for feminism anymore. Just so
That
we,
would be amazing.
yeah. So that's
Because
to clear that fact that I would love for us as a human race that when my kid develops like cognitive thinking, I would love that she doesn't have to feel the need to come and ask me about feminism and how to be a feminist. I would love that because then there will be no need. But as we are going on this trajectory as a human race, I strongly doubt that we are going to reach that point. Not in my lifetime, at least.
yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately.
I will be proud that she is not a but she's a fucking egalitarian. You know what I mean?
Your
That's
mic cut out.
huh?
Your mic cut out. She's like, she's a fucking, and then it's blank.
Oh, I was saying that uh, what was I saying?
I was so focused on the blank.
Shit.
I was hanging on every word that I just when it went quiet, I was like, fuck.
Like, that was equalist. I would like that she's an equalist, not classified as anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I will have to agree with you on that one.
yeah.
Like, when I have kids, I would love for them to, live in a place where there is equality and there's no, like, people don't look at other people as races. Like, I like the idea of people being individuals, and I like the idea of people coming from different cultures, and I love the idea of sharing. And like, people can do so much with one another if they just got over the fact that some people produce a little bit more melanin than other people. Or melatonin.
Melanin is like skin color.
Melanin?
Melanin is
Yeah,
skin
so I got
color.
it right the first time. Melanin. I got it right the first time. Melatonin is the chemical in your brain that makes you sleep. Uh, but yeah, like, that would be fantastic to be able to live in a world where people are like, hey, let's share cultures and let's be cool with one another
Yeah.
and not be like, hey, I'm white, am super superior, even though you don't burn in the sun and I turn into a lobster. Like, how is that anything superior to anything?
It's
It's
not.
like, I'm sorry, but if the world ended up becoming a desert wasteland, people who don't have a lot of melanin are gonna be the first to fucking go.
Yep.
Like, the whites are just gonna burn up like fucking eggs on a hot sidewalk on a bad day in Arizona.
Oh, dear Lord. Teach your sons to listen to girls, give them space, believe them, and elevate them. How about we teach our children to be nice to other children, therefore turning them into adults who are nice to other adults? What a wild fucking idea, huh?
Right, I know.
How
Like,
dare I even fucking preach this nonsense?
it's because you're, man. Let me
Fucking
say it.
shit.
We should teach our children to listen to other children and give them space, believe them, and elevate them. There, I said it. So now it's good.
I'm sorry, bitch. Did you just credit my opinion as your own? Did you just
Um,
blatantly repeat the same sentence
and
as
totally
I
took it as
just
my
did
credit.
and took
Yeah,
it?
but I can do that because I'm a girl, and it's
Well, you
totally
got
okay.
me on that one. Let's move
I
on
know, right?
to number 60. Dads, buy your daughter tampons. Make her hot water bottles. Wash her bras. Show her that her body isn't something to be ashamed of. Um, I constantly buy my girlfriend. Well, she doesn't use tampons, but pads.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make her hot water bottles because she'd never asked me. Wash her bras. I'm sorry, are we in the fucking 20s that we hand wash our clothes? No, we just put them in the fucking machine. So if I do not know a single man who is disgusted by the mere presence of a bra in their hands. As a matter of fact, we actually like having bras in our hands. I know this. Show her that her body isn't something to be ashamed of. Who is actively teaching their daughters that they should be ashamed of their bodies? Who?
Well, here's a really good example. Because I know that you and I have had this discussion, and I have told you many times that if all men and boys thought like you did, the world would be a better place because there is a such thing as period shaming, and it's awful. And I feel like this statement is it's again very targeted because not all fathers are like that. Not all fathers are like, well, you're a female and you're dealing with female things, and I am not equipped to deal with female emotions. Therefore, I am not going to even come near it with a 10-foot pole because anything like that will suddenly turn me into a sissy man, and I do not want to risk marring my masculine persona by doing something like that. Deal with
Mm.
your woman problems in the woman's, like, I that does still exist, and I feel like, this one does need to be said, and she did say it in a way that wasn't bad. It's like, dads, buy your daughter tampons, make her hot water bottles, wash her bras. Like, buy her tampons, show her that her body isn't something to be ashamed of. Like, he's she's right in saying that. Like, as a dad, you should be the one showing your daughter that males should not uh uh belittle you or make you feel like less of a person because your body is going through something natural. You are not to be shunned. You are not a lesser being because of it. It is not something that is disgusting or gross. It is something that every single, half of the population have to go through. That is what the father should be teaching her daughter, or his daughter, or her daughter, I guess. I mean, it depends. But, like, dads should be teaching their daughters that going through a menstrual cycle is okay and it's normal, and it's not something that you should be ashamed of. Like, absolutely. Like, if my dad had done that for me, I think I would look very much differently upon myself than I do now. But like my dad didn't do that. But then again, my dad wasn't taught to do that,
That's
you
my that
know?
but that's what my whole point was about. We're not talking about people that are stuck in back in the old days, or we as a society have definitely grown out of whatever fucking dungeon mentality that we had before. Uh, Period shaming. I don't see it with normal people. I'm talking about normal people, normal human beings. I'm not talking about degenerates. I'm not talking about some
Yeah.
backwoods
Like,
fucking bullshit people. I'm talking about normal people. So every argument
well,
that I say people don't do that. I'm talking about normal people that are not clinically insane.
yeah, normal. Well, I'm gonna have to say again, like, period shaming is a thing that kids do. A lot of
Kids,
kids, yeah,
but
a
the
lot of kids do it,
but
and
kids are stupid. Kids are morons. When I was a
that's why
kid,
the
people
dad
would.
needs to step up and teach their daughters that their kids are being wrong. Like, this is something that I can totally stand behind and argue with. Like, yes, dads should be teaching their daughters that their body is good. And then this also gives, because I mean, a father is such a important part of any daughter's life. I mean, a father is the person, like, is their first ever male role model, and they will base their mates off of him. Like, that's probably why, like, most of my relationships are pretty shitty. I didn't really know any better. I thought it was okay if I was treated like shit every once in a while because, my dad made me feel like shit every once in a while. And, my dad wasn't there to say, hey, you're beautiful. Your body is beautiful. Like, your body is normal. I
Okay,
mean, granted, like, the like, one of the things that my dad did do, and I will always remember this, and I will always be eternally grateful for this. It was in middle school, and it was like, I think literally the second time I was on my period, and I think I called my mom, and I was crying. I'm not even sure if I even called my mom or if I called my dad, but I went to the office crying because I had bled through my pants, and I was cramping and I was miserable and I really didn't know what was going on. But my dad came, and I felt like he rescued me. And like, he asked me if I was okay, and we went home. And after we went home, he took me out to lunch. And
okay.
that was the best thing that, my dad did. But, like, he didn't make a big deal about me having my period. He didn't make a big deal about, you know, me feeling awful for ruining my clothes. And, I should have picked up on that and have been like, okay, well, he didn't do this. So any guy that does this to me is a bad person, is somebody that I shouldn't pay attention to. So I think that this is something that's really important because it shows, like, it is promoting good behavior, good relationship behavior between a father and a daughter, because this is going to shape how the future females see other males. Because if, like, if a girl grew up and her dad was like super dad, like, was a feminist, was an activist in whatever, like, was a good person, treated the mom like, a viable person, like, didn't talk down to her, didn't belittle her, didn't, whatever. If they had, like, if the parents have a really good solid relationship, the dad is going to show the girl that this is how a real man should be, this is how you should be treated. A real man, that is awful, I shouldn't say that, but this is how you should be treated by a good person. A good person isn't going to belittle you, a good person isn't going to make fun of you, a good person isn't going to do bad things to you. And Like this is like that's what I feel like that line is actually something really important. It's like sometimes just like the situation with my brother, like he might not, like the dad might not have even thought to buy tampons or make a hot water bottle, you know?
Yeah, I do agree with that. However, I do have a couple things to add.
Hmm.
First of all, um, if you were to rearrange that sentence to be like, "Moms, buy your son condoms." I don't know. Put clean, put clean socks next to his fucking bed. Uh, Wash his underwear. Show that his body isn't something to be ashamed of. Like when you get an erection like if I got an erection in the middle of class and I called my mom, like, "Oh my god, my dinky's hard," you know. What most of mothers in that situation would say is that, well, you have to talk to your father about this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a penis. I can't help you here. I'm sorry. I know it doesn't correlate because they're completely, vastly different issues.
Oh, it totally does correlate though. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm picking up what you're putting down, and you're absolutely right. Should do the thing with their sons.
Yes, because like if a daughter looks up to their father, then um
A
a
son looks up to
son
his mother.
looks up to his mother. Yeah, I'm not saying that, my mother is superwoman, so I have to go for a lady to marry that is exactly like my mother. What I'm saying is that, um, women that are being abused by their father are going to hate men in general because they weren't abused by their mother. The lady figure in their life, the women role model in her life, did not do any harm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, take cars and bikes for an example. If you have a car and a bike and you drive your car to work every single day and everything is fine, it never breaks down, it runs perfectly fine, it gets you to point A to point B perfectly safe. You drive a bike 3 times out of 5, you crash. There's a
Mm-hmm.
100% chance that you're not gonna drive the bike to work anymore.
Yeah.
So, I'm saying it has to go both ways. If dads need to be accepting of their daughters and need to help them understand that, period blood is blood and it's gonna wash out and there's nothing to be ashamed of, then mothers should also care about, I don't know,
Yeah,
uh,
their son's social, like you're absolutely right. If a son calls their mom in the middle of the class and it's like, I am incredibly embarrassed, I got this random boner. Yeah, the mom should be like, hey, look, honey,
it happens.
this, it happens,
Yeah.
and you really should be ashamed of it. The next time that happens, what we can do, like, we can put a cold bottle of water in your backpack. That way, whenever, or we could put like, yeah, like a cold bottle of water in your backpack, and then whenever you do get a random boner, instead of like curling up, what you need to do is lean back a little bit and make sure that you press the cold bottle of water right above the shaft of your penis, because that's going to make the blood vessels constrict, and that's going to make your boner go down.
You're gonna be immediately labeled as the fucking ice bottle guy. It's like, look at this fucking weirdo.
Hey, I mean, if you can do it discreetly, I'm just saying that
Yeah, yeah,
works.
no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it should
You're,
go both
it
ways. The
should go both
parents should
ways.
teach their children that, uh that happens. Yeah, like, for example, I never had a talk about, sexual things with my parents. Never. I know that
Neither have I.
it's a big deal to some people. Let's talk about the birds and the bees or whatever the expression is. Um, I never had that kind of thing with my parents, and I turned out perfectly sexually sound. I'm not saying that all of these things need to be covered by the parents, especially nowadays where information is literally handed to you on the palm of your hand. So whatever you
Mhm.
need to know, you can look it up online. I mean, for the things you're embarrassed about, of course you're gonna be embarrassed talk about sex with your parents. Like even now, when I watch a movie with my mom and dad every fucking 10 years, when there's a sex scene, I go like, oh my god, what are they doing? What is that? Oh my god, is that a dick? Oh, what the hell is that? Oh my god, you know.
I'm sorry, but my awkwardness or whatever ended when my mom was borrowing like weird foreign horror movies, and we were watching one, and I don't know, like all I can remember is watching this with my mom, and it was of this dude who was like working in a morgue, and he was totally getting off to the dead body.
Oh my
Like he
god.
was molesting her boobs and jacking off. And it's like nothing, nothing can be awkward
Oh my
anymore.
god. Well, I have to label this 18 plus now. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
uh,
Well, with all the times
yeah.
we've dropped the F bomb, or at
Oh.
least I know I have a couple of times.
Let's see. Number 61. But dads, do not try to iron her bras. This is a mistake you only make once. I've
So wait, you want him to
never.
do the laundry, but you don't want him to do the laundry?
Who the fuck irons a bra?
I don't know.
There's
This sounds,
specific design is to be curved. Why would you
yeah.
actively try to iron it to make it
I'm not
straight?
sure.
This is a mistake you only make once because you're gonna what heat up the string, the metal string that goes in the bra, or because you're gonna flatten it. I don't know a single sound-minded person that ever tried to iron a bra. A dude or it's like, you don't have to.
See, this is again, like this is what I get from this line is that it was a like this was an event that happened in her life that was frustrating that she can now look back on and laugh at because in the bigger picture it was kind of funny because her dad tried
Her dad
and
was
now
a
she's making
fucking
fun of him.
idiot then.
Like, hey, some guys don't know. Like I said, like some guys just don't know. Some guys really do need to be educated because the aspect of having a female in their life is so masked that they don't. It's not in their purview to know.
Yeah, I guess so.
But again, like this is I feel like 61 doesn't necessarily need to be here
No,
because like I said, it's a
just 61.
hmm?
Just
Oh, just
61.
6. No, there were quite a few in here that I think the only ones that either of us were like, "Yeah, let's do that. Fuck yeah, that's
Like
awesome."
two,
I think 3 actually.
3, 2.5. Let's see here. Um, oh dear. Examine how domestic labor is divided in your home. Who does the cleaning, the childcare, the organizing, the meal budgeting? Sons, this goes for you too. We already talked about this before about cleaning. You talked about it in length about cleaning and organizing and everything. So I don't think we. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Divide your chores. Excellent.
Yeah.
Uh, Learn how to domesticate tasks to a high standard. I'd only do it wrong is a bullshit excuse.
Yes.
Actually, well,
I'd only do it wrong is a bullshit excuse.
it is.
Like,
But what if I'm doing the dishes and each and every fucking time I leave them dirty, like there's a spot on it.
mhm.
Like maybe I don't have that high of a standard. Maybe I can eat from it and I don't give a shit. Okay, bullshit excuse, but I mean, it's not. It's okay. Yeah, high standards. All right. Um, Everybody has to have OCD apparently nowadays.
Okay, with I will say something because I am the cleanest or I when I clean I do so with the expectancy of every surface is going to be eaten off of. And that's just the way that I was raised. It's like you GI your shit and you make sure that, dust can't land on anything. It's so clean.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I have talked to my roommate because for me, doing the dishes, when you clean the kitchen and you do your dishes, there's no dishes left over. There's no dishes on the sink, there's no dishes on the counter, there's nothing. If it's clean, it's dried and put away.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's clean, it's in the dishwasher waiting to be put away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it irritates me when people say that they clean things and then I look and it doesn't look like they've cleaned anything. So, yes, I had to say and I had to push my standard of clean. And my standard of clean is when you wash a dish, dry it and put away. Like, if you don't want to dry it and put it away, put it in the fucking dishwasher because right now our dishwasher is nothing but a giant glorified drying rack, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody uses the dishes, so if the dishwasher's full, take the time to unload it. It takes like 5 minutes. It's not that fucking hard.
Yeah, but
You
what
know?
I'm saying is like you don't have to be like Adrian fucking Monk and have everything like, sparkling. You've seen the show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
So, yeah, not that levels, but yes,
Yeah, like
not
I don't expect.
disgusting.
Yeah, I don't expect people to like clean all the time to my level because I know that the way that I do it is fucking exhausting. And there are some times when I cut corners too, but nobody notices because my corners are amazing. But
Basically, keep your shit together.
yeah,
That's
it's like
that's the
find
whole
find
point.
some instead of having that person. um this is another thing about equality too. Like, I want everybody to clean to my standard, but I know not everybody's going to clean to my standard. So what we did is that we came together because we all agree on equality
Hmm.
and we agreed on how clean things should be and the acceptability of, the kitchen or the state of the kitchen and the state of the living room and the state of the bedroom. Like, we've all agreed on the states of the rooms that, we live in.
Hmm.
Like, Dave's bathroom, or my roommate's bathroom, sorry. Um,
Ooh,
yes.
shit, Dave. Ah, god damn it.
Like,
Okay, it's fine to say
I,
Dave.
yeah, like I asked if I could, go into his bathroom and fill the cat dishes, full of water because I didn't want to go all the way into my bathroom. It's a longer walk, and with
Hmm.
water, it's tricky. And he was like, "Yeah, but I don't clean it to your standards." And I was like, "That's fine. I'll just leave the lights off. Like, that's his space. I know he only cleans his bathroom once a month. I
Ooh.
clean my bathrooms once a week. Like, I clean the downstairs bathroom once a week, and the upstairs bathroom gets cleaned once a week. Like, it I clean my stuff once a week, but those are my spaces and those are
Right, right, right.
spaces that, everybody shares.
Hmm.
Nobody shares his bathroom, so he can clean it how he wants. And if I want to use his sink, I just don't turn the lights on. That is our
Out of
agreement.
sight, out of mind, right?
Exactly. And if I
Ignorance
only need
is
water, then
bliss.
absolutely. Because
Ah,
it would. If
yes.
I turned on the light and I saw it was gross, it would bother the fuck
Well,
out of
yeah.
me. So I don't let it
Uh,
bother me.
Speaking of things that bother the fuck out of me, never again comment on how long it takes a woman to get ready. We are trying to meet the ridiculous standards of a system you benefit from. Uh, how
Okay,
do
it's
I benefit from you wearing makeup? Uh, it's completely your choice. It's by choice. It's not by me
yeah.
saying you have to have makeup on. Uh, w- uh, How do I?
Beauty.
That's that. There we go. I'm done.
um, okay. Never again comment on how long it takes a woman to get ready. Yes, you can. Because as a woman, I know that when I want to go out and I want to look good, I'm going to need an hour for my shower because I might want to shave. and I might want to do like some kind of cream to make my skin look a little bit more dewy, or if I like want to put like some oil on that makes me smell good. I know that it takes me an hour to straighten my hair. Like if I know that we are going out and I want to put pigtails in my hair, I know that it takes me an hour to straighten my hair, and it's going to take me 30 minutes to 45 minutes to maybe another hour to get my hair put up into those pigtails.
Mm.
I know it takes me a long time. If you come at me and you're like, hey, do you remember those reservations that we made like 2 or 3 days ago? It's tonight, and just as a reminder, we've got 3 hours until we need to go. You're telling me that because you know that it's going to take me a long time to get ready. And if I don't start getting ready until 15 minutes until we need to leave, yes, you have every right to bitch at me.
Yep.
Because these are things that were planned that, like, I know, like, again, this is something that is targeted towards somebody because she had a different, like, no, you have the right to bitch. I'm sorry, but you do.
Fucking shit. I don't think I want to touch this one.
Challenge the patriarchs in your religious group when they enable the oppression of women. Yes, that is just a simple yes. You challenge the patriarchs in your religious group when they enable the oppression of women.
That's
The
it's just
enabling the oppression of women is a wrong place to be at.
exactly. You don't have to say that. That's that's what you
And
do. I'd
how
challenge the
about,
religion as well, because fuck them.
yeah, what does it have to be the patriarchs? Why can't it be the matriarchs? If they're enabling the oppression of women, stand up against them too. How
Mm.
about challenge the religious group
Yeah.
when they enable the oppression of women? Again, I feel like this is slightly more like this is targeted because she's again specifically targeting males, and it's not just a male problem, it's a group problem.
Hmm.
Target the religion. The religion is the enemy in this, not the men that are part of the religion. The religion is the bad thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if the
Yeah.
religion says that enabling the oppression of women is a thing that is even coming up.
Yep. This one is exactly the fucking same one. It's just religious
Exactly
groups
the
with secular movements. I mean, same
yeah.
shit. That this could
Again,
literally be one fucking point, just religious, comma, secular movement, and be done with it. But no, we have to stretch it out just to fucking I don't know. I feel like it's targeted towards me just for the plain purpose of pissing me off and ruining my night.
well, I hope that this has been fun for you because I like hanging out with you, and I know that we've had some laughs.
It's like
Am I making this at least halfway more palatable?
yes, at least half. Ha! This one, however, is trust women's religious choices. Don't pretend to liberate them just so you can criticize their beliefs. First of all, I have every right. I have every right as a human being to criticize your beliefs. Every right. I don't trust women's religious choices. I don't have to. Why do I have to trust that you believe in a big man in the sky? I don't. I can call you out on that and say that that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. If you think that that's good, then good on you. Fine. Lead your life as you want. But I can be critical of your beliefs as you can be critical of my beliefs. People tell me non-stop and criticize me for being an atheist. Non-stop. Non-fucking stop. But when I criticize someone for being a Christian, oh my god. He's gone crazy.
Mm,
And we're
yeah,
back to double
like
standards again. Don't pretend to liberate them. Just, what a liberal way. That's
I had to cough. I'm sorry.
liberate them.
Um,
Eh, fuck.
yeah, like it should be trust whoever's religious choices. It's like, okay, you can trust in their religious choices or trust that they made the best decision for them as far as religion is concerned. Absolutely. Do that for everybody, not just women. And then don't pretend to liberate them just so you can criticize their beliefs. Okay, that is 100% targeted. She's talking about one particular person that did this to her.
Yeah.
It's like, don't pretend to liberate them just so you can criticize their beliefs because she's speaking to men. She thinks that all men are out there to pretend to liberate them just so they can criticize the woman's beliefs. Like this is totally like
I, as a man, am being criticized by my beliefs nearly daily. But that's okay, apparently, because I'm not a woman. If I was a woman, then it would not be okay. It would be a terrible, terrible thing that's going on in my life. But because I have a penis between my legs, it's fine for people to be critical at me and what I do.
mhm. Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Examine who books your trips, arranges outings, organizes Christmas. Yeah, organizes Christmas. I like the way that she put that.
Yeah.
Buys birthday cards. Is it a woman? Is it? Uh,
No.
no. Most of the time,
It was both of my parents.
yeah, yeah. Most of the time, it's a mutual thing to organize a trip. Like you don't,
Yeah.
for example, my mom doesn't organize a fucking trip without my dad knowing. Then goes, oh, we're going to the Caribbean for 5 days. Oh yeah, great. Or I'm having issues by saying organizes Christmas. That's such a fucking weird way to say it. Organizes Christmas.
Yeah, that is a weird.
Uh,
Organizes Christmas. It's like actually, I think the Catholics did that a long ass time ago.
organizes
Jew-
Christmas. Like she take
No.
my mom takes Christmas. No, 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 no. This Christmas is going on this shelf, not on this shelf. Let's organize this Christmas here and this Christmas here. Um, buys birthday cards. So a man never bought a birthday card? What?
Yeah, I think this is like again, this is something targeted. This was like probably a lover that ended up being like this is probably one of the things that she resents them for because she was left with always booking trips, arranging the outings, organizing what happens during Christmas, buying birthday cards, like maybe all of these little nuances that make things run smoother, like or not even really purposely, but she ended up having the responsibility put on her on more than one occasion and didn't get any kind of recognition for it. And that is why this is even in the list. Like again, this is kind of like number 67, trust women's religious choices, pretend to liberate them just so you criticize their beliefs.
Uh,
It's like examine who books your trips, arranges outings, organizes Christmas, buys birthday cards. Is it a woman? Is it? Well, yes, it is because you're specifically talking about you being that
yeah.
woman and you being the person who's doing all of this, and all of this is about you. And again, how is this going to help me in my life? It's like maybe if it was just like a subtle reminder, it's like, hey, when you see your woman packing for a trip, help her pack. Like, ask her what she needs. Be helpful, actually, rather than this. Because this is obvious, like, this is obviously from somebody else. And she's just venting now because she's got the platform to let everything go, which is great. I'm glad that she found a way to let it all out, and I'm glad that she's healing from the experience because this is obviously what this is. But come on, like
You
maybe
know,
you should have put this in your private life journal,
uh,
not posted up on the internet as underneath the guise of actual feminism.
this sentence actually reminds me of this. I think would be a nice little analogy. My girlfriend is like terrified of calling and ordering takeout.
Mm-hmm.
Terrified. Whenever we want to get takeout, I always tease her like, "Oh, you gonna call them?" She's like, That's me. That's like me saying, "Examine who fucking orders pizza. It's your boyfriend, isn't it?"
Yeah,
Like, who gives a shit? I mean, come
it's
on.
like examine, or how about this? Examine who cleans the gutters out, who fixes the drain or the leak in the sink, who
Mm.
cleans out the drains. It's like, is it a man? Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah.
well,
Yeah,
again, equality, and that
yeah.
is what feminism is equality. This is not feminism. This
no,
is
it's cherry picking, is what it is.
yeah,
It's like hand
yeah,
picking. You know, you have uh, 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 two ways of describing a problem. Like we said, who books our Christmas party? Mom. Who cleans our gutters? Dad. But I'm going to say that my mom always does the planning. Therefore, it's bad. But she didn't say, oh, my dad cleans the gutters. Why doesn't mom do it every once in a while? No. She cherry picked what fits her narrative.
Mhm.
That is modern day feminism in a nutshell. Cherry pick the
Oh yeah.
problem that fits your narrative. Nothing else matters. And that's
Well,
uh,
this particular quote unquote feminism. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
you to
That's
like
that.
I know that you know that feminism is basically equality. Like the strive for equality between genders. Like that's what feminism really is.
Yes, I
This is not feminism, and I
no.
know that you know that. And
Yeah,
I just want that everybody else knows that you
no, no, no. I completely understand. I would explain it to you, but I by law I can't. By these 100 commandments, I can't explain feminism. So
Oh yeah, that's right. I am a
yeah,
woman and I already know.
I understand what feminism. When I say modern day feminism, I mean this. This is for me. This is modern day feminism. This is not
Yeah, because
actual, true, real life feminism. This is Tumblr feminism.
yeah,
This is bitching and moaning and call it feminism just to get some credit.
yeah. I like how Tumblr feminism. I like that a lot.
Well, it
It
is.
that it is. You're absolutely right because I mean, feminism back in the day. You want to know what feminism back in the day did? Feminism back in the day fucking got us to be able to vote.
Yeah.
That is what feminism should be producing.
And you know what?
Is that kind of
Even
equality?
what's even more astonishing about that is that the majority of women back then opposed that notion. They actually did not want to be placed in a state that they can decide on the future of their country by electing somebody to lead it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's even more amazing, that women had to fight themselves to actually
Yeah,
get in the position of power.
yeah.
That's
And a
even
lot
more
of people don't
amazing
know that.
when it comes to feminism. More than 70% of the minority that was in fact women opposed the notion of having the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's history. That's not me making it up to belittle
Yeah,
anything.
to
This is just
try and prove a point. That's actually what happened. You can't
yeah.
really contest that. You could say, well, no, they didn't. Then you could be like, well, they did. And they could be
Yeah.
like, well, the world is flat. It's like, what?
Yeah, okay.
It's like that's when you get into that conversation.